The glass facade of Le Jardin, one of Manhattan's most prestigious restaurants, glimmers under the last rays of the afternoon sun. Soft instrumental music and the aroma of fresh bread fill the air. Polished marble floors reflect the warm glow from overhead chandeliers, each crystal hand-blown and imported from Europe. Sarah Miller, the restaurant's head server, stands by table 7, adjusting silverware until each fork and knife gleams. She has worked here for 6 years, becoming known for her impeccable standards and near-photographic memory of each guest's preferences. Before we dive in, help us reach our first big milestone of 1,000 subscribers. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Like this video if you love learning life-changing lessons. Now, let's get into the story. Trust me, you won't want to miss a surprising turn that happens when a single oversight flips Sarah's world upside down. Sarah, thinking, Mr. DeLuca will want that extra marinara. Ms. Bennett always says no ice. The newlyweds from last week, they're returning tonight. Need to have everything precise. From the kitchen, a sous chef slides out plates with a practiced flourish, calling out, "Table 4, amuse-bouche." Sarah inhales the comforting scent of freshly baked bread mingling with the tang of seared scallops. The dinner rush hasn't fully started, and she's confident the evening will run smoothly. Then the door chime rings, a quiet, refined note that perfectly suits the restaurant's atmosphere. Sarah looks up to see a lanky teenager stepping inside. He's about 16 or 17, wearing a faded navy hoodie, worn jeans, and sneakers with scuffed soles. His posture is tall yet slightly hesitant. He brushes his brown hair aside with long fingers, revealing a calm, observant gaze. Sarah, initial thought, probably lost. Doesn't look like a typical patron. Maybe he's here to apply for a busser position. Keeping her professional smile, she approaches. Sarah, coolly polite. "Good evening. May I help you?" He meets her gaze, voice soft but refined. "Barron, good evening. A table for one, please." Sarah notices how casual his attire is against the restaurant's polished backdrop. She checks the reservation list. There are open tables, but she hesitates. "Sarah, it's quite a busy evening. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at the bistro down the street. Their pricing is more accessible." For a moment, Barron's face shows a flicker of amusement. "Barron, I appreciate the suggestion, but I'd still prefer to dine here." He pulls out a sleek black credit card. Sarah recognizes it as a top-tier card, not easily obtained. She keeps her expression neutral, though surprise flickers in her eyes. Sarah, conceding, "Right this way." She leads Barron to table 12, one of the least desirable spots near the back. The restaurant's large windows provide a magnificent view of Manhattan, but Barron won't see much from here. "Sarah, our chef's tasting menu is popular but quite extensive. You might prefer the a la carte items." Her tone implies doubt about his ability to handle or afford it. "Barron, the tasting menu will be fine. Sparkling water, please." Sarah offers a curt nod, then departs to greet a more elegantly dressed couple entering behind him. She doesn't notice Barron taking out a small notebook, jotting down a brief note while studying the layout of the dining room. While the evening unfolds, please subscribe to our channel. We're aiming for 1,000 subscribers. Your support lets us share more stories that challenge assumptions and spark personal growth. Sarah glides among the tables, offering warm welcomes to her preferred guests. Mr. DeLuca, who always requests extra sauce. Ms. Bennett, who insists on lemon wedges but no ice. A business executive scanning the wine list for the highest-rated vintage. Whenever Sarah passes Barron's table, she keeps her engagement minimal. If he asks about a sauce, she provides only the basic details. No lively descriptions about the chef's inspirations. No mention of the organic herbs grown on the rooftop garden. Barron's posture and manners remain impeccable. He quietly thanks each staff member who refills his water or brings a plate. From her peripheral vision, Sarah sees him nodding in deep conversation with the sommelier. Odd for a teenager. Still, she chalks it up to youthful curiosity. Sarah, thinking, he's polite enough. But what's he doing in a place like this? That credit card had to be his parents'. Well, as long as he pays. One dish after another arrives with perfect timing. Le Jardin prides itself on culinary excellence. Yet, whenever Barron has a simple request, extra ground pepper or a small substitution, Sarah delays. She refills water glasses at other tables first, or she doubles back to confirm a VIP's dessert request. By the time she brings the pepper, Barron's risotto is cooling. He never openly complains. Instead, he scribbles notes in his leather-bound book between courses. Barron, to the busboy, warmly, "Thank you for the extra bread, Martine." The busboy beams. Rarely do guests remember his name. Sarah catches this exchange but dismisses it, more interested in a new group of potential big spenders who just arrived. Before dessert, Sarah finally checks on Barron with a somewhat forced concern. "Sarah, how is your meal so far?" Her tone suggests she expects a minor complaint or a hasty departure. Barron, calmly, "The food's exquisite. The chef's timing is impeccable. But I've noticed a few differences in how I'm treated compared to others." Sarah's spine stiffens. She hopes he won't cause a scene. Sarah, coolly, "We treat everyone with equal standards. I'm sorry if you feel otherwise." Her dismissive attitude lingers as she leaves to greet a new table of regulars. Barron quietly watches her go, noting the stark contrast in her demeanor when dealing with more upscale-looking diners. When the dessert arrives, a signature chocolate souffle, Sarah places it before Barron without ceremony. She's rushing to attend to a couple celebrating their anniversary at a prime window seat. Barron finishes, requests the bill, and pays promptly. He leaves a precisely calculated 20% tip. Neither stingy nor extravagant. Rising to his full height, he gathers his notebook and offers Sarah a polite nod. "Barron, thank you. It's been very illuminating." Sarah watches him exit. Relief mingling with curiosity, she shrugs off any lingering thought, certain the night will continue without further complications. By morning, Sarah arrives at Le Jardin eager for a rumored new training initiative. She's hoping for a leadership role. As she hangs up her coat, Elena, the morning hostess, intercepts her. "Elena," anxious whisper. "Sarah, Mr. Romano wants to see you in his office ASAP. The owners are here." Sarah's stomach flips. The owners rarely show up without warning, especially so early. Straightening her uniform, she walks to the manager's office, mind racing to recall if anything major went wrong the night before. Inside, she sees three people. Mr. Romano, the general manager, looking unusually tense. Donald Trump, a tall figure near the window. Barron, the teenager from yesterday, now in a flawlessly tailored suit. Sarah's face goes pale. She recognizes a resemblance, the refined accent, the black card. She never imagined. "Mr. Romano, Ms. Miller, this is Barron Trump. You served him last night." She swallows hard, heart-pounding. Donald Trump looks from Sarah to his son, letting Barron do the talking. Barron, opening his notebook, "I've made some notes regarding my experience at Le Jardin. May I share them?" Sarah can only nod. He recounts, in calm, precise detail, how she greeted him, where she seated him, the differences in how she described dishes to others, and the delays in service. Her chest tightens with every point. Donald Trump speaks up, his tone measured but firm. "Donald Trump, I understand you didn't recognize my son, but you shouldn't have to know who someone is to treat them properly, should you?" Sarah feels sweat forming at her temple. She's certain she'll be fired. That might be the end of her career in fine dining. She opens her mouth to stammer an apology, but Barron raises a hand gently. "Barron, I don't believe firing you solves the real issue. You're good at what you do when you choose to be. That's the problem. How many other people are brushed off in the same way, simply because they don't look the part?" Sarah's remorse intensifies. She pictures other teenagers who may have been ignored, tourists in casual attire who left feeling unwelcome. "Barron," handing over a folder, "I've put together a proposal for a new training program, one that addresses unconscious bias and sets a uniform standard of hospitality. I'd like you, Ms. Miller, to help design and lead it." Mr. Romano looks both stunned and relieved, while Donald Trump studies Sarah with a curious expression. Sarah, hoarsely, "Me? You still want me here?" Barron, smiling faintly. People learn best when their own mistakes guide them. Are you willing to take that lesson and help others do better? Her voice wavers, but she meets his eyes. Sarah, yes, absolutely. I'm ready. Within a week, Sarah and Barron sit together at table 12, now a symbolic meeting spot, surrounded by papers, checklists, and examples of fine dining protocols. They brainstorm scenarios to test how staff might respond. A casually dressed family visiting from out of town. A soft-spoken single diner with an unusual request. Someone with a dietary restriction who doesn't look like a typical high spender. Barron, we'll role-play these situations and teach staff that every person deserves the best possible service, no matter their appearance. Sarah, initially humiliated, starts seeing a bigger purpose. She invests in researching best practices from other inclusive establishments, drafting new guidelines, and filming demonstration videos. Barron chimes in with ideas to keep the material engaging. Barron, thoughtful. Servers need real-life tools. It can't just be a lecture. It has to be actionable steps. A month later, Sarah quietly oversees mystery diners who arrive at Le Jardin unannounced. A woman in tattered jeans asking detailed questions about the wagyu steak. An older man wanted to sit at the prime window table, despite appearing disheveled. A college student curious about the tasting menu. With limited finances, under Sarah's previous mindset, these guests might have been met with dismissive glances or guided elsewhere. Now the staff, coached through the new training, respond with professional courtesy. Not everyone is perfect, but improvement is evident. Implementation of service without prejudice faces resistance from a few longtime servers who believe bigger spenders or well-dressed patrons deserve priority. Some argue it's just how fine dining works. But Sarah insists. Sarah, leading a staff meeting. Look, we're still a high-end restaurant, but high-end means top quality for everyone. If we start deciding who deserve, we violate the essence of hospitality. Barron continues making unannounced visits in various outfits. Sometimes in a blazer, sometimes back in a hoodie. Each time, he discreetly observes, taking notes. The changes in staff demeanor become more consistent, and positive guest feedback starts rolling in. After 3 months, the pilot program proves successful enough that Donald Trump decides to roll out to all his restaurant properties. Sarah travels to sister restaurants, training managers and staff on the new approach. Each session begins with her telling the story of how she judged a teenager in a hoodie, only to realize later he was Barron Trump. Sarah, addressing a group of staff. That night taught me a hard lesson. You can't see a person's worth just by looking at them. One small act of prejudice can undo a guest's entire experience, no matter how exquisite the food. Barron attends some of these sessions, offering encouragement and emphasizing the program's importance to both the company's image and the broader principle of hospitality. If this resonates with you, subscribe to our channel. We're climbing toward 1,000 subscribers, and every single click helps. Don't miss more inspiring stories of personal growth and redemption. 1 year passes since that fateful evening. Le Jardin has become known for its unwavering service standards. Guests of all demographics remark on how they feel genuinely welcomed, whether they're in designer suits or everyday jeans. Tips have become more evenly spread among the staff, and the overall atmosphere is friendlier. On a late summer afternoon, Sarah is called into a meeting with Mr. Romano and Donald Trump. She's uncertain what to expect, but hopes it's good news. Donald Trump offering a handshake. Sarah, you've done outstanding work. We'd like to officially appoint you as Director of Service Culture for all of our restaurants. Her eyes widen with gratitude. She recalls how a year ago, she nearly lost her job over one misstep. Now that misstep has led her here. Sarah, thank you. I won't let you down. That evening, Le Jardin holds a small celebration. The staff gathers in the main dining area, offering congratulations. As a symbolic gesture, Sarah puts on her old server uniform, freshly pressed. She wants to honor her roots and remember the moment she nearly threw it all away through hasty judgment. Taking a shift on the floor, she approaches table 12, smiling warmly as she greets a lone diner dressed in a worn sweatshirt. Casual diner nervously. I'm not too dressed up for this place. Is that okay? Sarah light laugh. You're perfectly fine. Welcome to Le Jardin. May I recommend our tasting menu tonight? Or we have wonderful a la carte selections, if you prefer. There's no condescension or reservation in her voice, only genuine hospitality. Across the room, Barron, observing unobtrusively, catches her eye and nods with a half-smile, acknowledging how far she's come. Sarah's story reminds us that a simple assumption can unravel into serious consequences, but it can also be the spark for growth. By confronting her bias, she helped transform not just her own attitude, but an entire organization's culture. 3 key lessons stand out. Appearances are deceptive. Judging someone's status, knowledge, or character by what they were often leads to missed opportunities or misunderstandings. Mistakes, when handled right, become catalysts. Instead of losing her job, Sarah learned from her error, creating a system to prevent it from happening again. Consistent service is genuine service. True hospitality doesn't waver based on a guest's outward image. If you found value in this story, subscribe to our channel. We're aiming to reach 1,000 subscribers. By subscribing, you'll never miss another transformative tale that challenges assumptions and offers real-life takeaways. Give this video a like if you appreciated the journey from prejudice to redemption, and click on the card to watch our next story. Thank you for watching, and remember, every guest, every person deserves respect, no matter who they are or how they look.